Hello guys, welcome to Bike Matters. My name is Alex and this is sort of part two, but welcome to the Potski HQ where there's a Yamaha event going on. If you haven't already, check out the Yamaha MT-07 review, sort of first impressions review that I did. But this is the bike that I really wanted to talk about, and this is something that was really intriguing me whilst I was coming up here today, because the Tracer 9 GT Plus is an absolute weapon. Technologically advanced, it's just blown me away today and I wish I had more time on it. So let's have a little quick look around it and let's talk about it. So this is the 2023 Tracer 9 GT Plus, and basically it's the Tracer 9 GT but with all of the tech thrown in. If the Tracer 9 GT wasn't technologically advanced enough, this thing just blows it out of the water. You've got a 7-inch TFT dash which integrates with the Yamaha MyRide app, so on your smartphone you can connect it all up and get your smartphone bits in there, so your phone calls, get your music control, all of that good stuff, if you consider it good stuff. The main point is you get radar assisted technology thrown in. So the cruise control, you flick it on and it will set it to a certain follow distance that you can adjust. So that makes long distance touring quite nice if you've got a pack of you riding along all at the same speed, or if you just want to take a little break and just cruise calmly behind the car in front. Set the speed, it will just keep you at that same distance depending on how much the vehicle in front is moving. It will keep you at that same follow speed. And something that really intrigued me that I wanted to try out straight away when trying this bike out is the radar unified braking. And that basically means that if the vehicle in front is slowing at a sort of rapid pace, or if you've accelerated quickly into it, it will flash up with big yellow orange alert symbol and it will apply some braking power. Now I was thinking that's quite dangerous, surely. If you've got something approaching you, you want to be in full control of the bike to be able to swerve out the way if you need to, or apply your own braking at the rate you need to. But it actually did it so gently and in a way that was not too disruptive to how the bike felt. They actually worked quite nicely. Of course, you can dive into the settings menu to adjust it all if you want to, but I was actually quite blown away at how easy it was to use. Now, I went on the initial Tracer 9 GT launch back in 2021, and I was basically in love with this bike straight away. It was just incredible to ride. The CP3 motor was beautiful. It has torque for days, it has power for days, and it just seems at any speed, any gear, it just wants to fly away. And I was grinning all day long, well, for the 2 days that I was riding it. Of course, certain things like the screen, it does wobble about a little bit, but it does the job to buffet most of the wind away above you. And the semi-active suspension is a huge selling point. Big old KYB forks on there, and they just soak up the bumps beautifully. This is the first bike I rode at the Yamaha day today, and it was sort of the bonus and all of what I wanted straight away at the start of the day. It was just, as soon as I pulled away, I was like, oh yeah, this feels like home. This was just beautiful to ride. In terms of power figures, it's the 890cc cross-plane, of course, triple. It's 117 brake horsepower and 93 newton meters of torque, or about 68.5 pound-foot. And realistically, this thing is just unreal. When you're accelerating away, the power just goes in so smoothly, but at a huge rapid rate, and you just really want to go for it. This thing's kind of eggs you on to ride a little bit too quickly, but it will do it all the same. In corners as well, you sort of throw the bike around and it just really goes into a corner beautifully. You sort of feel like you can tap in a little bit of steering, tuck in straight away, and it will just glide through the corner. The semi-active suspension works alongside that as well. There's solenoids that will go automatically and sort of configure the suspension for you as you go. You can adjust the preload and stuff like that separately, but it just does it all beautifully. So if you're cruising along on a nice flat surface on a highway jaunt, then you're going to be comfortably going away. If you want a little bit more sporty response and a little bit more sort of firm response in the suspension, you can flick it into a sportier mode, or you can just let it do its thing, and it seems to just know exactly what you want to do. It's just sublime. I will also throw in that the quick shifters are 3rd generation, goes up and down really nicely, and it almost feels like it's so smooth that it doesn't even feel like it's clicking into a gear. You can be accelerating away, you know, 2nd into 3rd, click through, and it just, there's no interruption in your speed. It just sort of continues on. really good. And you can also, as part of the sort of third generation, if you're decelerating, you can upshift whilst you're decelerating to get a little bit less engine braking, or sort of vice versa. And it does work really nicely, I've got to say. Comfort wise, this bike has an 820/835mm seat height. You can adjust it up and down. Only rode the bike for maybe 2 hours at a push, and yeah, came off feeling great and wanted to just go back out for another ride really. Tank size is 18.7 litres. And again, didn't get to ride it enough to find out what the true range is with the engine refinements and the Euro-refined bits that have been done to this bike. But I'd imagine you're going to get a nice amount of mileage in here. I'd say easily over 200 miles, but depending on how you ride really. Weight of the bike is 223 kilograms, and although it is a taller bike, for me as a 6'3" rider, I got on with it absolutely fine. The weight in corners doesn't really feel like anything at all. And at low speed, you've got a nice amount of steering lock to just get around things, even in towns and cities, even with the panniers on the back. It just feels like you can just get this around anywhere. It's nice and nimble. I will also just throw in that the tires felt super grippy. It's the Bridgestone Battle Axe BT32s, and they just felt instantly up to temperature, and they just gave enough grip in corners and just working around. It was really good. Just a nice like little side point there. So in terms of weighing this up against the rivals, you've got plenty to pick from. The sports tourer and sort of just touring segment in general, whether you include the adventure bikes into that as well, there's plenty to choose from. I mean, you've got the Kawasaki Versys, the Suzuki GSX 1000 GT, the Honda NT 1100, you've got the Triumph Tiger 1200 GT, KTM 1290, Super Duke GT, or the Super Adventure S. And a lot of these have the sort of radar assisted systems, or they don't. But this one priced in at £14,910 feels like you're getting a lot of bike for your money. I would actually happily buy one of these, and I think that's a huge statement, because for me, riding quite a lot of different bikes, if I'm happy to go and buy one, I think that means quite a lot to me personally. But this bike is incredible. And in terms of shaping up against the rivals, because there is so many and so many that do the job really well, I think this is really one to watch out for. The CP3 motor, incredible. The semi-active suspension, incredible. Just the way it rides and handles, it just does it all and wants to do it more really. Oh, I think he's coming. Nice. Fair play. So to really round up the video of the Tracer 9 GT Plus, this bike's incredible, love it. I'd actually buy one, and I think that says a lot. There's rivals out there, there's things that do the same, there's things that have the radar assisted systems, but this is just a bike that I love, really. The CP3 motor is just bang on. The power's great, handles incredibly well, it just does it all, and I love it. Now, of course, controversial looks, just, you know, there's a few little bits here and there that would make you want to ride it first, so I'd highly recommend a ride and just considering how this bike shapes up to something you've already ridden perhaps. But I think this is well worth a look. Of course, head over to Lexham Insurance website where the Bike Matters homepage is for the full review of this and the MT-07. Give that a video a watch if you haven't already. I'll leave the video there. It's only a taster of this bike and it's left me wanting more really. So leave a comment down below if this is the sports tourer that you'd go for. Like, subscribe, do all that good stuff, and I'll see you on the next video. Ciao.